Let us discuss about typification or type concept, the principle of priority, names of families, names of species, names of intra-specific taxa, names of plants in cultivation, conditions of effective and valid publication, changes in names taxa. First, types of type of concept or typification. It has been clearly stated that plant nomenclature is based on the kind of plants. Species of higher plant are the unit of lower plant. Its nomenclature and type is usually a specimen of herbarium. Succulents cannot preserve their characteristic in dried form. Therefore, their parts are arranged in such a way that it can be identified with the help of diagrams. Type specimens are important. Type specimens are conserved in envelopes. Folders are cases as preserved material. During taxonomic studies on old or large genera, taxonomists oftenly divided them into two or more genera. But in this process, problem arises to indicate the genus with original name. To solve the problem, the typification process is used, in which generic name includes type specimen, while the type species is that species which was kept by the author in his mind during the formulation of genus. In this method, permanent genetic names were based on standard species. Linnaeus has prepared a list of standard species for genera, and for acceptance he presented it in Amsterdam Congress Prac in the year 1926. In this Congress accepted the proposal, for it is uses to botanists with guide for determination of the type as appendix in the fourth volume. Generally, the botanists are true and perfect in the selection of such words, due to which disorder has been created and a lot have been written on this subject. But A new and very important research paper on this subject has been presented by Professor Blake, Stockholm Congress. In this Congress discussed on the subject and suggested the terminology for the specimens one by one. Holotype, lectotype, neotype, paratype, isotype, and syntype. In holotype, this type of specimen has been designated by the author as the nomenclature type. In lectotype, a specimen selected from the original material to serve as a substitute for the holotype. If the latter was not designated in the original publication or so long as it is missing. Neotype, a specimen selected to serve as a substitute for the taxon when all the materials on which the name was based is missing. Paratype, a specimen which is available in the form of original description besides holotype. In isotype, a duplicate. In this isotype, in this duplicate of the type or holotype from the same selection. That means this is a duplicate of the type or holotype from the same selection. And the last syntype, it is one of the two or more specimens or elements used by an author when no holotype was designated or in place of a holotype, or when one or two or more specimens were designated simultaneously as the type. Next, the principles of priority. According to this principle, the same plant can be described at different places by different botanical names, but the name which was published first is considered correct for each taxon. This principle is not applicable for the taxon present above the rank of the family. The principle of priority is the most important principle among the other principles of nomenclature. The names of plants of different groups of spermatophyta were recognized only after their publication. For example, Linnaeus named a genus Xeris in his book entitled Species Plantarum, published first in 1753. Studel in his book entitled Botzitting 14, published in 1856, named this same genus Scius Maxwell, but the name Xeris was recognized because its authentic publication was done earlier than the name of Scius Maxwell. Now, names of families. Families is a plural fam. Families is the plural of family. For naming a family, suffix ecae is used, and the family name is usually after a typical genus of that group. For example, Rosaceae after Rosa and Cucurbitaceae after Cucurbita. There are some eight families which do not follow this trend, but due to their long usage, their publications were approved. In these days, another names for each of them have been with suffix ac, eae. For example, Palmae, Aracaceae, Graminae, Poaceae, Cruciferae, Brassicaceae, Leguminosae, Fabaceae, Latiferae, Clusiaceae, Umbelliferae, Apiaceae, Labiatae, Lamiaceae, Compositae, Asteraceae. Now, names of species. The name of a plant species consists of two words, and it is specific epithet of a genus. If in any epithet there are two or more than two words, then in that case they are combined together. Example, Hibiscus rosa sinensis. The species name can be taken from any source but not alike to generic name. For example, Linaria, and Phragmites, Phragmites. When species name is the repetition of genetic name, they are called tautonyms. In botanical nomenclature, tautonyms are invalid.